Postal worker from Chelmsford, or certainly from Essex. It's Chelmsford where she works. A wonderful, wonderful player, and
60.
Former winner of this, but wanting to add one more title to those she's already taken.
Yeah, it's important that Rachel gets off to a good start and doesn't let Deta get out of the blocks too fast. Otherwise,
81.
yeah, it could be all over pretty quickly.
Always looks extremely composed to me, and
60.
hardly flinches.
No.
A dark destroyer, and my, she has destroyed a few in her time.
I don't know, countless titles. Unbelievable, Deta.
Yes, Rachel, I agree. I know exactly what she was thinking there. Funny how you can read a woman's mind sometimes, just by the look, the expression.
I notice Deta's darts very springy when they go in the board. It's the
100.
very thin points that she uses, made of very highly sprung steel. If you look at them close up, you think they'd snap, but she seems to like them. She changed them about, I don't know, must be about a year ago now, but I've not tried them myself. Rachel with more conventional points, a little bit of grip on them, and obviously no wavering. Just the wavering
7.
from the 20 by the looks of it.
Just 7 there from Rachel, and she's got to somehow pick herself up from that. The thing about Deta is, there she's gone in 5, but in the main, she tends to go down the line. And even when she's not hitting the treble 20,
66.
she's generally scoring 60. The odd one will stray, maybe she gets the odd 85, 81. And that wasn't the best of examples, although she did hit a treble 20. But that high action of hers does help. And now it's Rachel who's finding that treble
60.
20 sector. But generally that's the consistency part of Deta Hedman's game. Yeah, so 180 from a little lad.
It could be one from Deta.
He can count to 180.
99.
Downstairs there, 99, setting up the finish nicely. Rachel needs to settle down. She's, as you can see, she takes her time. That I'm not sure if it's off-putting for Deta. It's just she knows Rachel's game inside and out. It might even be more off-putting to Rachel herself sometimes.
Yeah, well, having scored 7 a couple of moments ago, you've got to give her credit for that last start, because it must have been still in her mind that she could put in a repeat visit.
So determination on Deta, though, isn't it? It's
78.
Yes, I was commentating on Deta when she won the Women's Desert Classic. It lasted for a couple of 3 years, back in 2005, 6. She beat Caroline Mars, the American, in the final. And
26.
that title is one that's often forgotten, you know, but it was worth the winning.
double 19.
Game
straight in, no messing.
Deta Hedman.
Absolutely, Alan. Straight in, no messing. You want double 19, do you go 6 double 16, or do you tend to go straight for it?
Well, I'm pretty poor on the 16, so I'll go straight for it.
You said it, not me.
Oh, Rachel's struggling again from the off. She really needs to settle down here. I think nerves is playing a big part here. She's taken out some good players 41. On the way today. Close call with Fallon Sharrock, another one of the up-and-coming stars on the BDO ladies' side. Should be appearing at Lakeside in the new year for sure.
Well, to get to a semi-final of a British
100.
Open, you've got to have played well along the way. No doubt you have to ride your luck here and there, but she has to lift her game, particularly when she's up against one of the all-time greats.
This is better darts.
100.
Yeah, settling perhaps, settling. And it's not too late. She lost that first leg against the throw. Still time perhaps for her to put matters straight. She can't afford to lose with her throw, because it's only the
100.
first to 5.
Deta starting to get into her stride. A little bit quicker on the throw there from Deta. And Rachel very methodical again.
Best of 9 legs. And Hedman 1 up
68
with throw.
Yeah, I think it's nerves is playing a part here with Rachel. All right, she's played at Lakeside in January. She's been on many stages on the tour. But you know, it's a great hour. Just been down there in the last 2 games. It's a great atmosphere down there. It's something a little bit different, a little bit special for her in her own county as well. So
And seeing those television cameras again on the stage and around all adds to the pressure.
And to add to the fact you're playing probably the best woman player of all time.
Yes, that's right. She's not bad, is she,
100.
Deta Hedman?
Although you could say Trina Gulliver was
Well,
up
you've
there.
got Trina Gulliver. You go back in time to the great players from the past and past winners of this. I mean, the great Maureen Flowers back in the early days. This is the
81.
39th staging of the... No, I think this is the 34th staging of this particular event. It started the women's...
Oh, for the women's, yeah.
The women's British Open started 5 years later than the men's. So I think the first one was 1980. And so this would be our 35th, in fact. And
60.
former
DT
winners,
require
well, the great Maureen Flowers,
139.
Linda Batten won it a couple of times in those early days. Sharon Colclough, a great player in her time.
Setting up
99.
double top nicely.
Rachel,
So
you require
big finish here for
132.
Rachel. She needs a 132. She should be starting on the bullseye.
Yes, I think she ought really to go for the middly diddly, as we call it.
Well,
And
that's
gets
the
it.
first
It's
one.
Remarkable. Another one of those. And she'll be, oh, unlucky. She'd have wanted double 16.
74.
Well,
DT requires
she's got to be
40.
happy with that, because she is on a finish if Deta allows her to have a pop at it.
That's a bit wayward, but knowing Deta, she'll pop this in. Oh.
Game
Oh,
shot.
no messing last start. Just when Rachel might have been thinking, I'll have a go after all. Deta.
Game on.
Now at the semi-final stages, of course.
Well, she's on throw again, back in that triple, starting off the leg nicely,
62.
and then pulls one into the 1 again. I'll talk to her about that later.
Yes.
That's much better
100.
start.
Yeah.
She needs to get settled down, get these tons going. That's her mother in the audience just looking on.
Thought it was a great granny.
100.
Ah, great last start. And that's an example of what I was talking about. All in that treble 20 sector, and all in that 20 sector, I should think. One going in the treble.
Yeah, she's relentlessly down the line, Deta. Was that tight? Unlucky. She should get this one though.
41.
So 2 legs to 0 up, and a 21 lead plus these. She's got the throw.
Again pulling into the 1.
81.
It's looking pretty comfortable for Deta at this stage. Rachel's not pushing her too much. There's Brian Dawson, we've just seen him. Back of him, he's had a good run. I believe losing out to Martin Adams in the end.
In one of the earlier rounds, or later earlier rounds.
I think it was the last 16.
Oh yes. So missed out on a chance of being on this stage then.
Yes, was, but I think he might have just got the points in for the Lakeside. He's right on the borderline to qualify for his first time. Another great Yorkshire player.
66.
Yeah, Deta strolling ahead here now. Rachel really needs to hit ton plus here. Just falling short of that triple 20 again.
Yes, Deta Hedman never won a world championship yet, but runner-up in 2012, again earlier this year. And surely her career won't end without such a title, the grandest title of all.
140.
Cracking darts, she leaves herself 52.
Now, the competition now is such in the women's game that any one of a number of players can win it. That wasn't always the case. You always had 3 or 4. I'd rather think now there are 7 or 8 at least who could play
41.
genuinely.
DT required 52.
Yeah, the women's game is certainly upped its level. Now they've opened up to 16 players at the Lakeside, so it's much more open, and as you say, there's 7 or 8 of them. They're all more than capable. Deta's strolling in this one, quite comfortable now.
Yep, that's third leg on the trot, and now throwing for to save, not the match quite yet, but to certainly give herself a chance of getting back. It's imperative that Rachel wins this leg. That's not a bad start though for the Yorkshire lass. Gets better in fact. There was even a look of surprise and maybe a touch of glee on her face as she went to retrieve them.
I think it was almost a case of, there you go, you can do it. Deta's answering this one.
100.
Just a ton, but there's a good reply. Keeping the pressure on Rachel. Takes her time.
You know, Deta won the Women's World Masters as long ago as 1994. She actually retired from the game for a time, didn't 41. She? And came back. She won the World Masters in 2013, 19 years later, and certainly stood the test of time.
That's probably one of the craziest records in the darts, isn't it? I mean, it's 19 years in between winning the World Masters. I think she puts a lot of it down to her, we call him the bag carrier, Paul James. He travels about with Deta, looks after her, makes sure she's in the right place at the right time. Good darts here from Rachel.
95.
Yeah, just pull that one over slightly into the treble 5, but not a disastrous visit by any means. By far the most competitive leg so far from Rachel.
100.
Great darts those. Great darts from a master player. 20 ahead now, Deta, but Rachel not out of this leg. Very much in it. Just got to keep that focus and consistency. Down the line darts. That's it. Drop one in the treble. Oh, that's the problem.
A little bit of a snatch there going into the
81.
Great last start. So she's on a finish. Maybe we'll see some fireworks with the 144. She doesn't go away, does she, Deta?
This is the problem. This is what you're up against. Model of
83.
consistency. Yeah.
Rachel, you require 144.
Poor last dart. Flinches at the thought of that going in treble 1, but 144 now for the lass from Yorkshire. 124, kidder. 124. Now 64 left. Where you gonna go? Treble 16.
I think she's going down the line.
100.
There. Can't blame her.
DT require 122.
She'd have left herself on double 2 had it gone in, of course.
Deta looking at 18s here.
Oh, what a first start.
Another one
18 for bull. Oh, did that deflect or was it a poor dart? Either way, it means that 66. Rachel will be back for 44.
Rachel, you require 44.
To get herself back in the match. Single 4 for double 20. Top she needs.
Games
Great dart. The finishing's better than the starting at the moment. So she's off the mark.
Yeah, that was a good leg for her. She played very, very well indeed. Held herself together even when Deta threatened.
60.
In the match. But she's proved that she ain't done with yet.
No, Deta giving her a chance here if Rachel can get off.
And
good first start.
You can only take it one leg at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
At a time. You can't win 2 legs in one visit, in one leg,
no,
can you?
No.
You've just got to take it one at a time and hope that she can maintain it. Some funny folk in that audience.
I think that's Mr. Williams, was it not? The
I was, of course, referring to the
140.
Great darts from Deta again. So consistent, like I say, just in that 50 pence piece area around the 20, the triple
Yes.
20.
Yes. Land them on a sixpence, but there aren't many people who know what a sixpence is.
It's before my time.
60.
So Deta looking to back the 140 up. Straight in.
Yeah, she picks herself up so well, though. She throws a disappointing dart, and you can almost see or sense the mental thought that goes into the next one. Concentration. Reassessing.
Yeah, she doesn't look away. She doesn't let it phase her. She just focuses and carries
43.
on.
Readjusting.
Yeah.
And,
I think you see a lot of people, they have a loose dart, they drop their head, they don't concentrate. You've seen it with Rachel a few times here.
we see from now, this picture here, when I'm talking about the high action, she's a tall
100.
person anyway. And then that arm comes up in front of that beautiful face of hers and down the line darts. Always
It's such a deliberate action for
yes, it
Deta,
is.
yeah.
It is. Good visit.
81.
Good visit.
Deta require
That's another couple of good visits in
120.
this one.
Yes.
He's throwing them hard enough.
Well, 120 for Deta Hedman means that now she needs 80.
60.
So she'll be back to try and take out 60 for a 4-1 lead. And Rachel Brooks will have it all to do if she hasn't already got it all to do.
60. Deta
Straight down the
requires
line.
60.
Deta, 20 tops. Doesn't usually go much wrong here for Deta. It's a lovely marker as well for her.
Games from the fifth leg.
Quality,
Deta Hedman.
absolute quality. And now 4-1 to Deta Hedman, looking likely to move into the final of the Women's British Open here in Bridlington. We have another semi-final to follow this, and that's going to be some game. Lorraine Winstanley against Anastasia Dobromislova. And
100.
looks as though if Anastasia were to win that, we'd have a repeat of one or two finals that Deta and Anastasia have fought out recently.
Great darts here again from Deta. You can see by the averages there how consistent she is down the line. 91 average for the first 9 darts, 86 overall.
Yeah.
So a big margin compared to Rachel.
Well, 19 points. We were talking about 19 years between winning the World Masters. Deta,
125.
is a big difference in the average. Huge. But Rachel putting together a decent score there, giving herself a chance of winning this with the throw. But look at this from Hedman. Super darts from Deta.
140.
It's unlucky. Thought we were going to get the first 180 there in the match. But it's just adding pressure all the time from Deta. I think Rachel will be back tending the sheep later tonight.
60.
I think this is Deta. She's taking the throw now. Let's see if she can set up a finish.
Grouping, good grouping.
41.
And the last one in the single one, so 180 plays 216. Now this is a very important visit, this, for Rachel Brooks. If she could put a score in here, she has a chance to win this leg. So 60 scored, maybe not enough. Needed a ton, I would have thought, Alan.
Yeah, definitely a bigger score there. Deta looking to set this one up comfortably. She's in that area all the time, isn't she?
100.
Yeah, it must be frustrating for her opponents. I mean, she rarely strays. Once she gets into the game, into the meat of the game, so to speak, which is where we are now, misses very little. So good turn in fairness. She's kept this leg very much alive. So 80 for Deta Hedman to win this. Oh, it's a great first start. Double 10 she wants for a place in the final. Double 5 to go into the final of the Women's British Open. Super stuff from Deta Hedman. She has made it into the final, and Rachel Brooks, credit to her, she dug in but never really in with a serious chance against a Deta Hedman bang on form.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Well, there are the stats, and Alan, you mentioned earlier Deta's 9-dart average of 91, but her overall average of 87 is very